Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is wxninjaa, and I just want to, I'm a huge weather nerd, so I thought I'd fill you guys in on what's going on with Hurricane Dorian. Massive, massive, massive. As you can see, Cat 5 hurricane just off the east coast of the Florida area. Right now it's going through the Bahamas, and it is absolutely destroying the Bahamas. It's it's pretty sad to see what's going on there. See if we can get this loop to play. But I'm on the weather.com right now from the Weather Channel, just checking out some of their information. I've been watching it on TV, but you can just see this eye wall. I mean, it is massive, massive hurricane. Cat 5, 190 miles an hour actually right now, as of the last update on TV. On here it says 185. This hurricane has the second highest wind speed of a hurricane. Excuse me. So that tells you just how strong this thing is. It's ranking up there with the Labor Day hurricane and Camille and hurricanes like that. As we look here, you can see this is the 4 p.m. Eastern update for Hurricane Dorian. 185 mile an hour winds, pressures at 910 millibars, and it's moving west at 7 miles an hour, continuing that slow. It's just continuing to slow down on the projection, which we'll look at in a minute, is for that slowing to continue. But you can see, you know, it's I think about 50 miles, 100 miles off the coast of Florida right now, and it is just destroying the Bahamas. Here's projection paths. It doesn't say how recent this is, but this is about one of the last that I saw. European model, which is a really, really good model. It's predicting this to stay off the coast, making a landfall somewhere in Cape Hatteras, Cape Fear, somewhere around here, North South Carolina area, and then going on up and then heading out to sea. That would be somewhere around Wednesday or Thursday, I believe it would make that landfall. So basically, if you live anywhere from Florida up through the Carolinas, you have to keep your eyes open. This thing could be really, really bad. It could wobble inland and back out. We've seen hurricanes in the past do that, just kind of wobble back and forth, east and west, and touch land, and then go back out over the sea, or the ocean. So, you know, coast of Georgia, coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, it has to, got to be really careful in this area. So, yeah, really, really serious hurricane. And like I said, if this path is another 20 miles offshore, or 20 miles further to the west than what the computer models are predicting right now, the European, which is numero uno for computer models. It's a really, really good model. If it's even slightly, 10 to 50 miles error to the west, it's really going to impact the coast, and it's going to make a landfall somewhere down here, maybe near Charleston, maybe not as far north. So you got to keep your eyes open. Obviously, this is really low-lying area. I've been to Jacksonville. That's where I was in last April. I was in Jacksonville doing some stuff for work up in southern Georgia. I went out some of the islands, St. Thomas, St. Simon's Island off the coast of Georgia, or coastal Georgia, I should say. Beautiful, beautiful area, but very, very low-lying area. So you get any water in there at all, it's just going to flood. And so here's some pictures of what's going on in the Bahamas. I mean, this looks like tornado damage. It is just absolutely crazy. Look at that house just destroyed. And that's what 180 mile an hour winds do. But also you start get that flying debris, and I have to think that's part of what's going on here. It's impacting the house, helping to tear it apart as far as, you start taking off roof shingles. And then what happens? Then you start taking off the sheeting for the roof. That's basically plywood, for those who don't know. It's a little different than plywood, but basically like plywood. So what that does is you get one little hole in there, and then it allows the air to come down and get into that roof, and then start putting pressure upwards on this roof, and that's what just makes the roof fly off. So that's probably what happened over here. Maybe some Shingles got off, and then you get some flying debris, punctures the roof. The flying debris starts moving around, makes the hole bigger, and maybe the flying debris goes, or the debris that landed on the roof goes flying off, let's say, and rips a little hole. And then, I mean, wind's powerful, we know that, just like water. So it just starts to rip that roof. Here's some people being pretty brave. Dorian expected to bring 10 to 15 foot storm surge. That's not exactly true. It's actually upwards 18 to 24 feet storm surge as of last. Here's the coastal flooding. I mean, it's just, all this is going to be underwater. So, you know, if you remember Matthew 16, yeah. It was real slow moving, lots and lots of water. Here's the latest radar image. And this is what's amazing with this. When you look at this, I don't know if it's going to zoom in for me. You can look, you know, there's no rain. This is called the eye of the hurricane. For those of you that know, you know, this isn't news to you, but for those of you who've never seen, this is the eye of the hurricane. This is the strongest winds. This is the eye wall, they call it. This is where all the power comes from, and it just wraps everything around the hurricane. You can see straight down, obviously, to the island. There's no rain right here between this eye wall. I don't know how wide that is, 20 miles, 50 miles, I have no idea. But when you look at something like this, and this is a huge eye wall like this, it really, really tells you, hey, this is a powerful hurricane. This is the same thing that you see here. See, these are the cloud tops. Darker the color, the higher the cloud tops, the more intense it is. And so you can look and you can see that eye right here. If we go back to this map too, you can just see, I mean, all this is just, this is the northwestern Bahama Islands. This hurricane is going to affect the same area all day today, for the rest of the day, and a lot of tomorrow, because it's just going to meander, slowly be over here by sometime tomorrow. So that means intense flooding, intense wind, right now you're getting hammered this way, excuse me, with winds coming straight out of the north and storm surge. And then tomorrow you're going to be on this side, so you're going to be getting the southern flow. So both sides of the island are going to get flooded, and it's just going to be a horrible situation. All the water is going to pile up on this side, and then the wind's going to come and push it back, so it's going to re-flood these areas. Here's a satellite loop. Pretty long one. You can actually see it better at night. That's weird. But I mean, look at that. So look at how far out the cloud field is. It's already starting to impact Florida. Nothing too great, but... So the steering, so what's affecting the steering is there's a high pressure here and there's a high pressure way over here. Look at all the lights from the cities. That's weird. Anyways, so it's affecting the steering. The high pressure between two high pressure systems. Right here, it's breaking down because there's a high pressure system way over here. So that's what's allowing this to skirt up. Otherwise, if the high pressure was here, this would just go straight across Florida, like Katrina, and then turn up or go over to Texas or whatever and get into the Gulf. Now this water right here is really warm. That's how a hurricane forms, is you have to have really good warm water. When it goes over the water, the hurricane creates upwells in the ocean. And these upwells, they do bring cooler water to the surface, but in this area, the warmer water is pretty deep. So it's still giving the hurricane energy. It's not cutting it off. Another interesting thing to look at is this is 1 September 2019, 1200 UTC. At that time, which is basically about 3 hours behind. So this was 9 hours ago. Because I'm on West Coast time. So this was about 9 hours ago. Movement west at 8, 927 millibars. Maximum sustained winds 160 miles an hour. 3 hours later, moving west at 7, 913 millibars with winds of 180. So it went down 14 millibars, and it gained 20 miles an hour wind. And then at 1800 UTC, which like I said is about 3 hours ago, 911 millibars, 185 miles an hour. So this is a big, big, bad hurricane. And like I said, this has changed a little bit. It's actually 190 miles an hour. Cat 5, just scary, scary situation, especially if you're anywhere in the Bahamas. Over here in these Northwest Bahama Islands, I hope you evacuated. If you're on the east coast of Florida, like I said, let's get a good little, you're anywhere in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, even on the west coast of Florida. I mean, you don't know. Who knows? Definitely keep your eyes open. I'll continue to do some updates throughout the day, maybe another one later today. And I continue to track this thing for you guys, and then we'll keep an eye on it, and we should have a pretty decent idea later this evening. The next model runs come out, and just watching this storm, I do believe, I want to look at one more thing here. I don't have it pulled up. Let's see if this tells me when that's going to happen. So by 5 p.m., and that's going to be Eastern time. So by tomorrow, actually 24 hours from now, this is where the storm is projected to be. Moving northwest at 5 miles an hour. So see, it's still going to be impacting those. Cat 4. What's this one? Tuesday. So 12 hours after that. So 36 hours from now. Still, that rain will be affecting this island of the Bahamas. So you can see, 36 hours of this. And the wind speed still 140 mile an hour with gust of 165. I mean, that's just incredible. Now, again, that wind field is not that huge, but still, that just gives you an idea. So it's going to get real close. This is the projected path. But again, if this doesn't start to turn here, what if it turns here? Well, now you got to shift all this over, to here, Maybe it makes Palm Bay or somewhere around here. So that's why you always want to keep a close eye on these things. All right, so that's going to do it for now. Like I said, I'll probably do another update later, let you guys know what's going on. And just appreciate you stopping by. Stay safe, everyone, and we will see you next time. Take care.